Possessing 331 planes at Marchfield, California, the U.S. Army Air Corps tests the aerial defense of the Pacific coast. Lined up for the gigantic sky maneuvers are planes of every type, from swift pursuit ships to huge bombers. The concentration gives our warbirds much-needed training in large-scale military operations. Meanwhile, at Dayton, Ohio, other Army Eagles streak across the sky to lay this 8-plane smokescreen that hides ground troops from the enemy. Stirring and spectacular, it's a demonstration of modern war magic, which hides everything behind a barrier of smoke.
These big Army amphibians are going to be given a dip in the surf to see if they can take it. In case of fog or storm, the pilots figure they can make a beeline for shore this way. Well, they'll find out pretty soon. Tricky business to come through those Pacific breakers without getting a broken wing or a mouthful of Mother Ocean. But so far, they seem to be getting away with it. Gotta be mighty careful to keep her straight. A nosedive here means a bath and no lifesavers around. Here's a skid. One of those whitecaps nearly got it. Port your helm, skipper. Looks as if Uncle Sam's eagles make pretty good ducks. Flying for sweet charity, roaring out of the skies to give the crowds a thrill and help the needy. Parachute jumping deluxe. 21 lads minus nerves dive from a giant bomber. They never even hesitate. Some war stuff for the big finale. They're out to destroy a mimic village labeled Depression Town, and watch them do it.
This Army blimp is about to test a new type of air observation. Lower away. The blimp rides above the clouds, while the tiny bathtub is let down to see what's going on. The little guy keeps in constant touch with the mothership by telephone. This is what the Army sausage looks like from below to her air puppy, Hot Dog. The cloud car can be lowered 1,500 feet. Uncle Sam's last word in sky defense. The all-seeing eye of the airman. And the car isn't much of a mark for sharpshooters either. All the way, up she goes, and everything is okay as long as that cable stays all in one piece. A successful experiment. Everything went smoothly, and it looks as though the cloud car will be a permanent means of airmen further risking their necks. 30 years ago, Orville and Wilbur Wright trundled an awkward-looking crate out onto the sand dunes at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, and took off on the first heavier-than-air flight. And now 114 Army, Navy, and Marine flyers turn out to honor them. Aviation has developed rapidly in 30 years. Did the Wrights foresee anything like this?
We are learning to bring our amphibians through the surf. As frequently flying along this coast, we encounter bad weather, which makes it necessary to come up on the beach rather than to try to fly through the fog and land. We're going out now and bring several ships up through the surf and take them back out again. Let's go.
test for the Army pilot. Back to the surf for a quick takeoff. It's dangerous, but a valuable air maneuver in coast defense work. Of a lifetime at the National Air Meets. First, Chicago. Here's how Georgie Burrell takes a big tri-motor giant of the air and juggles it like a flivver. Introducing Johnny Livingston, the human flapjack. Put a pancake on one wing and he'll flop it over for you. Los Angeles, and folks, you ain't seen nothing yet. The crowd's have a little surprise coming to him. Right into the grandstand. Maybe he lost his ticket. Hey, move over and give a fella a seat. Next, Major Udette, Europe's ace of daredevils. Is this flying or is this flying? If your blood pressure's low, call on the Major. Hollywood trio in the grand climax of the day. Watch their smoke. High art, Hollywood style. Look out below.
Miami's All-American Air Meet sent the country's best racing pilots up for a free-for-all event. And here's Jimmy Waddell, Air Speed King, risking his neck to round the pylons and dashes averaging 253 7/10 miles an hour. Army, Navy, and Marine planes did some spectacular flying in perfect alignment. Sensational maneuvers showed the skill of Uncle Sam's Eagles, who followed the leader in a series of formations. The mass parachute jump was the feature of the day's events. The jumpers leaping headlong into space, one right after the other. Look, that fellow's having trouble with his chute, but he manages to clear his shroud lines and they all land safe and sound. Now watch a plane dive into this ribbon, cutting it in two. A thrilling sight.
U.S. Army Eagles line up at Floyd Bennett Airport to do their part to help along their brother, the NRA Blue Eagle. The pilots climb aboard and the NRA literature is loaded in, 9 tons of it in 24 planes, to be carried to 12 of the principal cities of the country to aid in promotion of the Roosevelt job-making campaign. With engines warmed up and raring to go, Uncle Sam's Fighting Eagles move into position to take off on their mission of peace and prosperity. Mr. Roosevelt conceived the idea of this flight. What a publicity man.